More than 14,000 people from the Pacific Islands travel to New Zealand to work each year under the recognised Seasonal Employer or RSE scheme. While this scheme is vital for the growth and development of New Zealand horticulture, it is equally important to the growth and development of the Pacific Islands. Out of this opportunity, there are a great many success stories, and several Pacific Islanders are now entrepreneurs in their own right.
The scheme's really important for the Pacific because traditionally there were really limited opportunities for Pacific workers to access the New Zealand labour market. So the RSE scheme, it enables Pacific people to come here, earn money in New Zealand, which really provides economic benefit to their families and communities back home.
This is Marius Baba. He has set up profitable joinery, taxi service and carver businesses. He employs 4 men on the island of Espiritu Santo, the largest in Vanuatu, which has a population of 40,000. Marius's joinery is of the highest quality. Recent work includes applying the finishing touches to a newly built high-end resort.
With the 2 business, Kawabaya and joinery work, I can buy more land and employ some people to plant kawa. And slowly I start another business like taxi.
The first major purchase with income from New Zealand is often a truck or van. This transforms the villages in many ways. Some set up taxi businesses, as well as enabling transportation of the produce they grow for local markets, building materials and technology back to the remote villages, and just generally get around the place. On Malo Island in Tawafield Village, the community has used money and skills gained in New Zealand to build concrete storm-proof houses and water tanks, and to develop cash crops which they can sell at the local market as supplementary income.
We offer several classes to the men. We ask them what they'd like to learn. If they don't come forward with that, then we think about things that might be practical back at home. So we've done building for several years, plumbing. This is just a very small scale building, but how to set up profiles and build something that's vertical rather than leaning, putting a solid roof on and the choice of materials, simple plumbing to get water from a tank into a tap. We don't go with electricity. Concrete skills, bricklaying.
You know, our good pickers will be earning between $23 and $24 an hour, up to $30 an hour.
Leslie's old house is there, just down there. After working in New Zealand as an RSE worker, after coming back in 7 months, he built this house.
Doreen Ala has set up a second-hand clothing business alongside a small shop and cinder block factory that she and her family also run. When Doreen's husband, Elise Aru, is working in New Zealand, he buys clothing from charity shops to send back to Doreen in shipping containers. The RSE scheme also helps Pacific women into careers and senior leadership roles in New Zealand.
I am a QC here at Golden Bay Foods, and also I'm a senior team leader for the Vanuatu ladies. I've got that qualification to do the job here, so I've learned a lot.
In Eastern Santos, Tom Wetek of EP runs several small business ventures set up using money and expertise learnt in New Zealand. Tom makes soap and grows carver, lettuce, tomatoes, peanuts, tobacco and coconuts. Tom says that he learnt several horticultural skills in New Zealand which he applies back home to improve crop yield.
Because New Zealand is like a big university for me. I just go. I'm not going here for money. I like culture, living, and how people live and how people do things, how people think. I will start small and I will achieve all my goals. Yeah.
Tom Ulis has been coming to New Zealand for 9 years. Tom has set up a very successful licensed building and carpentry business. He has used his earnings over the years to purchase tools in New Zealand which enable him to build on a bigger scale. Tom is planning to invest in even larger equipment and is now hoping to expand his business into roading through contracts with local government.
So it's better for young people to spend the time in New Zealand and find their goals and earn some money to come and start off and at least live a better life.
Vinmarvis Village on Malakula is a 2-hour ute ride away from supplies and local markets. Malakula is home to the largest cocoa plantation in Vanuatu. With money earned in New Zealand, members of the Vinmarvis Village have been able to buy shares in the cocoa plantation. This provides a steady income in addition to money earned through the RSE scheme. Bill Jack lives in a small area called Bencore on the island of Malakula. He has also built stormproof houses.
Some of the important things I've learned is the time management. Because in Vanuatu we did not work according to the time, but in New Zealand everything, time is money.
This has gone way beyond our ability to have conceived the economic value and the development that's happened in the Pacific because of this New Zealand seasonal labour scheme.